What's up? What's up, and welcome to day three of the Creative to CEO Challenge. Day three is here, and I am, per usual, excited. I'm always excited about all the things. Let me make sure you know it's real and hit you with the bam. You know, when you see that, you know it's real. The Creative to CEO challenge. Literally, so far we have been able to make a lot of traction. Now we've been able to cover the creative CEO vision for you creative entrepreneurs over here. We've been able to help you lock in your signature offer with clarity because you should have ran it through our tool, our offer energy audit tool, just so you can make sure you're in the blue and in the green. And if you're in the blue and in the green, you're good to go. If you don't know what that means, it's because you have not taken day two. So you've were a part of day two. You know exactly what I'm talking about. And then of course there is day three, which is where we're going to build your 10K plan, 10K plus plan, right? Because some of us have higher aspirations. I saw one of our mentees here. He said that he wanted to do 12.5, right? He wanted to do 12.5 within the next 90 days, which is a little bit, maybe a little bit less than $5,000 a month, but ultimately still above 10K. We're going to push and nudge right here in day three to get you to where you need to be with your offer, and so that it can become predictable, right? What actions do I need to take? What things do I need to do in order to make it predictable? Listen, when I say predictable, we were literally going to map your path to predictable income. We actually have a small tool that we're going to introduce. It's a revenue map tool. We're going to talk to you about your creative CEO plan on a page. You're building it right now in sections. And then of course, on day five, we're going to put it all together. So I know you guys have been writing it in your notepad and then kind of typing it up, putting it in the homework, but we want you also putting it inside of your spreadsheet, because everything is going to compile into this one beautiful document. But if you're excited about mapping your path to predictable income, I need you to show some excitement. Ron, let's talk to them. Let's get them
Yes.
amped up
So
for
come
day
on, y'all.
three.
Good afternoon, right? Welcome to day three. If you guys are excited about day three as much as me and Shy are excited about three, I need for you to put a number three in the chat. Drop three in the chat if you're excited about number three. Okay, I'm seeing some threes. I'm seeing threes in the chat. Good. Because
There
listen,
we go.
like she said, we today is the money talk, is the money conversation. I know money gets everybody excited. Now, one thing I do want to do, right, is I want to bring somebody to the front and ask them to kind of share about their experience though so far, right? I see Ronald Lee has his camera on. So, Mr. Ronald Lee, do you mind coming to the front and just kind of sharing your experience thus far from days one and two? You can unmute yourself.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you loud and clear.
Okay. I guess the first couple of days, what I really liked was where you guys focus you in terms of just get one thing, focus on that, and give you a 90-day output. And I say that because I got a lot of different plans about a lot of different things. Okay. So just to focus on one, to get it to the point where you know, where it pays, that's good for me.
Good.
And just the clarity uh as far as I don't know if you guys saw my second attempt at the outcome in the impact.
As a result, because I responded to your initial, so I don't know. You saying you responded after after I gave you feedback?
I
Okay.
did. So I
Okay.
think that was a lot more on point. But
Okay.
just, my whole thing is just being able to focus on something enough to move it to that monetization point.
Good. Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you for that, Mr. Ronald Lee Sr. All right. All
Well,
right.
Certainly,
thank
Ronald Lee Jr.
Right. So I'm hoping that everybody else that's participating is having similar transformations and aha moments and things like that. Yeah. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited.
I would want to see who else has something to share, but I'm not gonna push them right now. We're gonna keep it rolling because they said they was ready. They dropped their threes. They're ready to show me the money, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and hop into the show me the money state right now as I'm talking. Ron, I just wanted to clarify. Um, am I clear? Am I clear? Because I don't want nobody to miss me when we're talking
No,
about the
you good.
funds.
No,
We're good.
your
Okay.
audio's good. Your audio's good. So yeah, no, let's get on in this
Let's
thing
get
here.
on in
Let's
there. All
get
right,
on
we
in this
ready to
thing.
start with
All right. So
Go
lesson
ahead.
one. That's good. So yeah, so we have this big idea, right? Is you don't hit 10K months or 10K plus months by chance. You hit them by math. Revenue is math, not mystery, right? So you don't got to do guesswork. It's like, no, it's a formula. It's like when you know your numbers, you know your next steps. And today, that shift begins, right? We move from being vague dreamers to financially minded CEOs. So, all right, let's get into this lesson, Sha.
All right. So when it comes to math, right? I know people are like, math, didn't love it. Or some people are like, okay, I loved it. Listen, we broke it down into steps on how you're going to actually come up with this formula, right? So this is day three is like our math layer. It sits directly on top of day two, right? The clarity that you got in day two. So we go from the creative CEO revenue map, right? And we're going to figure out the number of clients that you need. And we're going to look at your monthly revenue goal, and we're going to break it all down. Again, all of this should be extracted from day two. And now we're pulling into here. All right. So step number one, when it comes to monthly revenue, we want to make sure your monthly revenue target is right. You set this on day one. Now, some of you guys, when you set your goal for what you're going to make in the next 90 days, your mind automatically thought year. So you put, I want to make $120,000 in a year. I'm going to divide that by 12, and that'll be $10,000 a month. But we're not talking about what you want to make in a year. We're talking about what you want to make in the 90 days. If your 90 days starts on April 1st and you're going to go from April 1st to June 1st with everything we're going to teach you, because we're going to start talking about messaging and how to attract clients and all that kind of stuff later. But you have to first know what your 90-day monthly income target is, right? So for the sake of simple math, let's just say your monthly income goal, your 90-day goal was 15,000, right? If your monthly income goal is 15,000, you divide that by 3, right? And that would give you a monthly income goal of about $5,000 a month. Right? So we want you being able to have the right number, not a year's number, based on the quarter, okay? And then step 2, everybody good on that, right? We good? Okay. So step 2, we're going to look at your offer price. So this is where you align your offer with your pricing that supports your revenue goal and your capacity. Now, yesterday we had you come up with your offer, and you check your offer according to your offer energy audit to make sure you have capacity to do it. Now that we have capacity and we know what the goal is that we have in mind, we're going to see if that offer ties into that goal. So let's say, for example, you had a price of you said your price was previously $200, but you're going for a premium brand clarity photo shoot package or something like that, and you're going to charge $1,000, right? So that's the number that we would put there, right? Okay, so that let's put your offer there, and we're gonna unpack it as we move on over to the next page. This is where it gets interesting. Ron, let's go.
Look at me just talking away on mute. All right. All right. So Now we want to take this and do this in real time. So I need you to understand that your revenue goal divided by your offer price, that's going to be the number of clients that you need, right? So going back to, okay, what's that goal that we just talked about? Y'all should have just did the math. And then your offer price that you did the other day, right? That's going to be clients needed. Okay, so we're going to do a couple of examples here. All right, so example number one, let's say your revenue goal is okay, it's $10,000. We got a $10,000 goal for the month. My offer is 2,000. So you do that math, you need 5 clients for that. Okay. Let's say you say nope, my goal is 12,500, but my offer is 1,500. So you do that math. Somebody tell me what that number is. Cause I want y'all doing it live with me. I can give you the answer, but I want y'all to do it. Somebody drop it in the chat. What's the answer? Put it in the chat.
When you say do
Y'all
that
slow.
math, we're saying we're taking that revenue goal,
Mm-hmm.
that's 12.5, we're dividing it. That's the math. Dividing
Yep.
it by the $1,500 offer you have, and that's going to tell you how many clients you need.
All right.
Right. So
Oh,
what was that?
nobody? Well, okay. So for the sake of time, I tell you. All right. So that number is 8.3, but we know that there's no such thing as 8.3 clients, right? We got whole numbers, so I would round up to 9. I will put it at I'll put that at 9. I'd rather go above than below. Okay. So then that next one we say, okay, cool. Our revenue goal is going to be 14,000. So our offer price, let's say, is 3,500. Now do that math. 14,000 divided by 3,500. Drop it in the chat. What's the answer?
4.
Yes, 4. There we go. Okay. So now that's the example. So now you're gonna do your math, right? So based off of your revenue goal, right? Based off what you currently have your offer price as, right? And don't try to, tweak it and adjust it. No, just go ahead, just what the numbers you've already discussed, the numbers you've already jotted down after you're doing your homework, put that in that space there. Okay. And if y'all don't mind, I'm gonna ask you to put it in the chat as well, right? We here to share. I need y'all need to get used to talking about money and sharing money and revenue goals with your community, right? Okay, so put that in the chat when you're done with that. Okay, so y'all should see the simplicity in that. Okay, so now we want to go to the next one, and this is your delivery capacity. So we're going to tie it back to your sustainability filter from day 2. So if y'all did that energy audit, is all going to tie back in. Okay, so after you've done this math and you see your number of clients that you need to serve based off your goal and based off of the number of clients that you need and all that, we want to now ask you this question. Are you capable, energy and time wise, of delivering this number of clients per month? Okay, because this keeps things aligned with your energy. So go back and look. So if your goal was, like I said, that $10,000, right, but your offer is only 250, so you're charging 250 to get to that. Now you got to serve a bunch of these clients. Is that possible? Are you able to do that energy and time wise? If not, then we got to make some adjustments, right? And sometimes I need for you to be mindful that it's not just as easy as increasing prices. I'm not saying you can't do that, but increasing prices, a lot of times that means that your price is low, so you've undervalued what you're doing. So if when you undervalue what you offer, that equals undercharging. So we think, okay, cool, let me go ahead and raise my rate, right? But then you got to think about your competitive market. You have to review your cost of goods. You have to review your time and labor. You have to review your skills, right? And then in doing that, it's like, do they get quality at a higher rate or a faster speed because of your experience? So these are things that you got to consider. Okay. So the next thing you say, okay, cool. Well, I'll add value, right? So adding value necessarily doesn't mean creating more. So there's ways you can add value without creating more. I gave you all that example the other day about the car wash, right? Where I can wash your car and I can add value simply by adding you a custom fragrance in your car that doesn't take more labor, right? So think about, okay, cool. If I'm going to add value, what would be valuable to the client that's not going to tax me? Because once again, we're trying to preserve your energy. Okay. So, think about like a formal dress designer, right? So with a formal dress designer, you go in and you normally probably get that consultation, and then they'll design your dress for you, right? But to add value, it's not going to cost you more within that consultation. Okay, we're going to give you a fitting, right? I already got to fit you, but I'm adding value saying we're going to give you fitting. And during that fitting, you may give them an experience that makes that fitting enjoyable. You may add a custom dress bag, right? You may add a shoe, a custom shoe, or at least give them suggestions like, okay, cool, these shoes, like you'll give them a whole brand, as far as like, hey, based off your custom dress, this will be good for that. This matches and all this, that. So you give them, those examples. Then you could do a alteration, right? So these are things that you have to go and do as you're doing the custom thing, right? But now I'm looking, okay, what can I add to the value of it that now I can increase my pricing, which makes sense to the customer or client. All right.
Right. Right.
Y'all get that?
And we said, somebody said in the chat, they said add-ons, right? And we're not talking about add-ons that cost you more resources. We're
Right.
about add-ons that actually increase the value for them because there's a result that they're trying to get, right? If somebody comes in for a new custom car and painting and all that, they're trying to get their car decked out they want to feel good. So adding that fragrance is not something that's going to be more time intensive for you, but it's going to make them feel, I just got my car whipped up, ready. The custom wrap is nice. So that's what we mean. And I wanted to go back here because when we asked you all to put your revenue goal divided by your offer and the clients you needed, we only saw one person put their thing in
I'll
there.
put that
And
number
so
in there.
yeah, put their number in there. So before I move to the next phase, I wanna kind of do a quick example of something that I saw from someone's homework. So one of the people that I saw said that they had a goal of 12.5 for the next 90 days, right? So if you divide that by 3, right? If you divide that by 3, that equals about 41.67 that they need to be making per month, right? So we that 12.5 divided by 3. Now we were at the 41.67. 41.67 divided by, let's say, I don't know what their offer is, but let's just say their offer was $500. That would mean they need to have, per student, they would need to have 8 students. And do you have the capacity with the current team that you have and the current amount of facilitators? If it's just you, can you handle 8 students per month? Or do you need somebody else to help if you're going to have that many people? If so, you may need to increase that price or reduce the number or make some type of adjustment. So I just want to make sure everybody was clear on that because I saw some goals that were lofty. You want to make $120,000, but what you're selling is only $1,000. How we gonna make that work?
Right.
And I think that may be why we didn't see some of you guys drop your answer in the chat because you realize the numbers are not working out. But I just want to work through it with you. It's okay to make adjustments, but I did see somebody say that their capacity is totally there to meet the 5 clients that are needed. So on that note, we're gonna keep on moving. All right.
So here and don't forget here in this checkbox, you should be checking here after you've done your math. Am I realistically able to deliver this many clients well each month based off the number that you have there, right? Is it yes or does it need work? That simple. All right, let's get it.
All right. We're keeping it rolling. Now that we know what your predictable income is, if we're being honest with ourselves, we now have a predictable amount of sales that we need to make, clients, aka sales, right? And so ultimately, when it comes to predictable income, that's what this whole challenge is about, is to help you develop your signature scalable offer so that you can have predictable income, where predictable income requires predictable action. Your revenue right now, oh, this one right here may be an ouch, but your revenue is a reflection of your rhythms. I'm going to say that again. Your revenue right now is a reflection of your rhythms, and your rhythms is the actions that you do on repeat, because there is a certain amount of actions that have to happen in order for this income to be predictable. All right. And it's not just for you, this is for every business owner, every person that's selling a service or a product. They have to do a certain thing over and over and over. It has to happen. And what has to happen is the same thing that has to happen for us all. There has to be views, leads, conversations and conversions. Views, leads, conversations, and conversions. What do we mean by that? People need to see what you're offering. It needs to be visible, right? That needs to be able to view it. Then a lead is somebody who they didn't just look at it, they didn't see it, they stared at it long enough to be intrigued, and they kind of went to do something, and that kind of showed that they're sticky. Then conversation is you literally have to have that conversation. A lot of times there's an in-person sales conversation, and sometimes there's not an in-person sales conversation. Sometimes the whole conversation is happening online if we're talking about e-commerce. But still, there's a conversation that has to happen. People need to get a little bit more information. They want to talk to you about it. And then the last thing, that conversation, if it goes well and it's exactly what that person was needing and wanting, it turns into, it gets, the conversation converts into what we call a conversion, aka a sale. Right? Marketing by large is the action that produces impressions. If you work in any type of creative field, you may work with a marketing department. Maybe you do graphics, maybe you do videos, maybe you do whatever, but all of what they're getting you to design is to help increase the amount of impressions, as they would say. Impressions is how many people see it. So when you look at, for example, a billboard, there's a lot of people that get to pass by and see it. That gets a lot of impressions. But how many people from that billboard stare long enough to then get the website off the billboard to then type it in and go become a lead, right? That means they stare long enough to become intrigued. All right, that's the bigger question. But all of it is visibility. Visibility, for the sake of term, for us in this book, is just called views. And we want to talk to you about these predictable actions that have to happen. Now, we move past the billboard into, for example, the social media era where there's digital ads. When it comes to digital ads, for example, you have an e-commerce store, right? With an e-commerce store, the same thing has to happen. Views, leads, conversations, conversions, aka sales. So you have your whatever it is you like to buy, whatever you like to shop, whether it's sneakers, clothes, hats, beanies, whatever, some kind of way an ad pops up on your feed and you view it. And if it's intriguing enough, you click on it. If it's not, you let it go. If you click on it, now they have been able to capture you as a lead, because at minimum I have your IP address and I can retarget you for later ads. But more so, I have your email or phone number or whatever it is you was willing to put in order to see the offer or to get the discount code so you can get this really cool beanie or hat or whatever is being sold for a cheaper rate. But you became a lead. You stared long enough to be intrigued. And then once you get on the website, where's the conversation, you ask? We're not in store like Ted Bundy, who was a shoe salesman on Love and Marriage. It's a show, right? He was an in-person shoe salesman. Well, now we're talking about e-commerce. And so oftentimes with businesses nowadays, whether you're a product or a service, you're in the e-world. So how do we have the conversation? A person lands on your website or your funnel, and when they land there, the conversation happens without you being around. That conversation is, now what kind of leather was that? Was that vegan leather or faux leather or real leather? What kind of suede was that? What was that material? And they have all the answers there for you. Everything that they think you'd want to know is there. Sometimes it's frequently asked questions. Ultimately, the conversation is happening. And sometimes if you really want to know, there's a little pop-up that happens at the bottom. If you have any questions, you can ask. Ultimately, a conversation happens. And after all of that happens, a sale happens. And I'm saying all this to say, it happens in every single business. These are the actions that have to happen, and they have to happen in yours. Now, back to the breakdown. When we talk about how many leads I need, well, how many leads do I need? How many conversions do I need? How many sales do I need? Well, we know that because we just help you identify how many sales or conversions you need. But what we need to help you realize also is how many conversations, right? So we got the conversions here to sales, but how many conversations have to happen for this conversion to happen? And how many leads have to happen in order for this conversation to happen? And how many people do I need to view it for them to even become a lead, right? So let's say your answer was 5, which one of our students here in this particular challenge had a 5. Well, if you want to do 5 sales a month, how many conversations do you need to have with your potential client in order to get said 5? Now, what I want to expose you to is industry standards. If y'all was off of mute, I would have all of y'all to say industry standard numbers. These are numbers, if you took time to look them up, you would find that these are on average what people say. On average, 25% of conversations convert to a sale. In a perfect world, if everything is well, the leather is popping, all the things is good, everything is what it needs to be, 25% of conversations convert to sales. So technically, how you would arrive at that number, you would do 5 divided by 25% to get the number of conversations that create. So let's do that together. 5 divided by 25 equals how many conversations? If you're quick with the math, you should have arrived at 20 conversations. Am I right?
It's 5 divided by 0.25.
0.25 or 25%. Yeah.
Yeah.
So in order for me to even get 5 sales a month, I need to, so if my client is going back to this brand clarity photo shoot package that we've talked about from day 1 or day 2, and if I want to sell 5 of them per month, I need to speak to 20 of these premium clients that I'm talking about, these influencers or these business coaches or whomever that may need this. I have to have 20. This is the action that has to happen. Okay, now we have that. Well, in order to have this many conversations, how many leads do I need? All right, so industry standard says 15% of leads convert to conversations. 15% of leads convert to conversations. So how we will back into that number, you would go 20 divided by 0.15 or 15%. And that's going to be the number we've already given you, 133 leads. All right. And then lastly, in order to get that many leads, how do I get the amount of views to make them want to come over here? Right. So we would take that 133 and we're going to divide it by 2%. Check this out, you guys. 2% of views convert to leads on average. Sometimes it's lower, sometimes it's higher, depending on how dialed in your marketing is. But that's the industry standard. 2% of your views become leads. 15% of your leads become conversations, and 25% of your conversations become sales. So to make a $10,000 month with a $2,000 offer, you don't need luck. You need a predictable amount of actions so you can ensure that that happens. Your business becomes predictable when your numbers become predictable. If you want predictable income, you need predictable rhythms. And I need to be in the rhythm of getting this amount of views on my product so that I can get this amount of leads so that I can then have this amount of conversations, whether I'm having the conversation, whether I have a sales team, somebody that's going to have that conversation with them for me, whether it's the website is going to have the conversation. And then from there, just by law of average, so many people are going to click on it and say yes, and they're going to buy eventually. Yeah. These are just industry standards. Of course, people are unpredictable to some degree, but based on what we've seen, this is what happens. Let's keep it going.
Yeah. So listen, I know we just did the math part. I know some people may check out during the math. So I just want to do a temperature check and make sure that y'all still here with me. All right. Shai did a phenomenal job breaking that down. Right. So I want y'all to please, if you still with us, if you ain't checked out, drop a fire in the chat just to let me know that you on fire. That math got you burning. Like, okay, cool. Like put a fire in the chat. Okay, cool. I see J Lex. Good. Anybody else? I know. Hey, I can get with the math. Okay, cool. Okay, perfect. All right, I just wanted to make sure, right? Because nobody left behind. So, all right. As we're talking about that, right? You know me and Shai, we love these frameworks. So we've created this priority framework because not everything moves the needle. So she just talked to you about the things that you need. We need these views and all that stuff. But like I said, what priorities do I have in doing that? Okay, so we want you to see that everything on this list moves the needle for somebody. So it's your job as the CEO to decide which 3 moves the needle right now. So we've narrowed it down to 3 because if you have a business with no sales, guess what? You don't got no business. So that's why sales is like the number one thing on that priority right there. Okay. So you have to also have a delivery of what you sold. So if you selling it, but you don't have a delivery system in place, then I don't think you have a business either. So you have to that's delivery. That's the number two. So next, but after you have the sales and delivery, you also have to wait. You have to have a way to get what you sell and have to offer it in front of people. Right. So that's what we're talking about, the views. So that's the audience growth. So it's like, okay, cool. I have this thing I want to sell. I know how I'm gonna deliver it. Now I gotta grow the audience to get those views up, because she just told you it's only 2% of views that's gonna lead to the next step. So y'all gotta be aware of that, right? So, but we want to identify, okay, what are those things that we need to do? So we just introduced to you, focus on sales, focus on delivery, and then focus on audience growth. Y'all got that? If y'all still rocking with me, drop a 1 in the chat. If y'all got, no, drop a 3 in the chat, because it's 3. The rule of 3. Drop a rule of 3. If you got those 3: sales, delivery, audience growth. These are the priorities that you need to focus on. Awesome. I'm seeing those 3s. All right. So what we want to do now in your workbook, right? Everybody should have your workbook. So we want to look at these 3 things. So we give you some examples, okay? So when we talk about sales, these are some examples. You don't have to, once again, follow these. You can identify your own, but these are some good examples. So for sales, you may want to say, I want to simplify or optimize my signature offer sales page, right? Or you say, okay, I want to send 20 to 30 intentional outreach messages per week. That could be via DMs or email or SMS, where you're doing text messaging. Okay. You may want to ask past or current clients for referrals. Right. So these are just a couple of options. Okay. Next, we're going to talk about delivery. So the delivery, or your client experience. When we say delivery, think about the client experience. How are they experiencing what it is that you're selling them? Right. So you say, okay, I might want to streamline my onboarding process or my client journey. I might want to improve my delivery system to reduce time per client. All right. I might want to raise my prices or tighten the scope. The scope is the service that I provide, to protect my capacity, because I'm overwhelmed. I'm tired. Right. So those are some delivery client experience options. And then the next is for for audience growth and visibility. You might say, okay, I'm gonna post 3 short form content pieces per week. So that's gonna be reels, shorts, etc. You might want to host a 1 minute mini or 1 mini live session or workshop per week, right? Or re-engage or reboot your email list. So once again, these are just some examples. But what we want you to do, okay? We want you to take 2 minutes, okay? 2 minutes. So I'm gonna set the timer, but we're gonna take 2 minutes, and we want for you to circle, right, 1 in each category. Or if you don't see one that you want, right, if you like, well, those don't really speak to me, that's fine. That's okay. We understand that. Okay. But we want to take 2 minutes to circle a highlight, right? You might not be able to circle it, but if you can highlight it, depending on if you have it printed out or not, we want you to circle or highlight that. Okay. So I am going to put my timer up here.
Okay, just be
Go ahead.
clear. When it comes to business, people always want to say, what do I need to focus on? There's so much to do. Focus on sales, focus on delivery, and focus on audience growth. Because if you don't grow the audience, you won't be able to make a sale. That's what you're supposed to be focusing on. Now, we want you to circle only 1. Don't circle 2. I want to work on both of these. No. In the sales category, give me 1 action, because predictable income requires predictable action. Give me 1 action from one of these, or 1 that you want to write in yourself. I need 1 sales oriented action. I need 1 delivery action, and I need 1 audience growth action. Audience growth action that's going to really move the needle so that you can start attracting the people. We're really heavy on making sure you select something for audience growth, because that visibility really matters. Ron, you got it? You ready?
Yep. So the timer's going. Hopefully y'all was, as she was sharing, y'all was looking at it and reviewing and seeing and circling. So you should have 3 things circled by the time we're done, 1 in each category. And if you don't have your workbook, then you can look on screen and then write it out. But just make sure you're taking notes somehow. You have it in your workbook, but we understand somebody might not have it printed out or pull it up, which you should for each session. Okay, perfect. Shaq said he done. If you want, you can drop it in the chat. Share.
Mr. Hall is a premier student. He got everything down. He on top of it. Creative CEO mode unlocking.
Yep. If you're done before the time is up, you can put it in the chat. Okay, send 20 to 30 DMs, create, refine, deliveries. All right, all right. So everybody should have something. So we want to keep it moving. So I want y'all to understand just the importance of these three, right? Because there's a lot of things that can be done, but at this stage and what you're building and what you're doing, everything else is a distraction, right? And I want y'all to know that this is really setting y'all up for what you're going to focus on and then what you're going to pause or delegate. All right.
So now that you have selected 3 priorities, which means you know what you're going to do for the next 90 days, you got 3 priorities, you have 3 months, you're going to focus on 1 priority each month, right? But for right now, let's just write down what you circled. You have a space in the workbook. Here's what I'm going to focus on. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to take sales and then put in what it is that you were going to focus on for sales, right? I want you to take delivery and put in what you were going to focus on there, and then your audience growth. And you're gonna put in, say, I'm gonna reach out to, I'm gonna DM. Maybe your audience growth was to DM 20 of your potential premium clients on LinkedIn, offering them your brand clarity shoot package. That could be a strategy. Or maybe you were gonna do a reel, gonna post at least three reels a week if you're going with a social media Instagram strategy. All right, we don't need to take that much time because you already had identified it. You're just writing it here in the book. We're going to keep it moving. Okay, let's keep it moving. Now that we know what we're going to focus on, first of all, you're already starting to unlock CEO mode seriously. You have an offer, right? You have a goal. You know how many clients you need. You know what 3 priorities you're going to focus on within these next 90 days. Now we need to look at what you're going to pause and what you're going to delegate, because there's not possible that you're going to add 3 new things on your plate and something need to not be taken off of it. Maybe there's something that you can delegate, or maybe there's something that you can pause. I'm not saying you have to stop it totally, but I need to pause it right now. Or you may need to just totally stop it. Here's how you're going to determine what to put here. These are going to be activities that drain your time, activities that drain your energy, or just activities that drain your clarity. Sometimes it's not a business thing that needs to stop. Sometimes your clarity is being drained by something in your personal life. And you may need to go ahead and put that on the list. And you can put 1 or 2 things here. I know I need to stop this, right? I know I need to pause this, or I delegate it. And some people think delegate it. I don't have a big team yet. Well, you may have somebody who's been looking to help you. Man, I've been wanting to help you. Let me know what you need. Hey, sis, let me know I got you. You never had anything together to have them to help you. So now, cool, since I'm going to be focusing on sending out these DMs via LinkedIn every week, maybe I can get that to that person who said they want to help me. I'm gonna let them log in, send it to the people, help them identify. That's something that they can, that's something that they can help. But okay, or I'm gonna pause I need to stop. In order for me to do that, I need to stop doing this, or I need to stop going there. I need to figure that out. One or two things.
All right. So we gonna give y'all I'm gonna give y'all 5 minutes for put a few things in each section.
They don't need that long.
You
This
don't
is
need
a
that
this is
long?
a stellar group. Let's give them
How- 3? All
minutes.
right. 3 minutes. Here we go.
I'm about to help y'all with a few ideas. Watch this. Here we go. Something I need to stop doing because I'm trying to sell my premium offer. Underpriced photography. If you're a photographer or videographer. Maybe you have another thing that you do. Free gigs that don't align.
Hmm.
Freelance gigs. Just something that don't even have anything to do with my offer. I just do this on the side. It has nothing to do with. What about time consuming admin tasks? That's something that you can delegate. Hey, I always have to send all these invoices, or I always have to do invoices still got to get sent, but they're time consuming for you because you're focusing on your audience growth. You're focusing on delivery and sales. So somebody else can send that for you. Taking all the files and putting them in a certain folder and all of that in the cloud and organizing. That's somebody else. You can delegate that. Here's another one. I'm just going to stop doing all types of services that are outside of my signature offer altogether.
Mm. Mm.
Just a little help. We got 45 more seconds.
Yeah.
Ooh, I got some more then.
I'm drinking alcohol after 7 p.m. 8 p.m. Yeah. Yeah.
Or 9 p.m. or 10
9
p.m.,
p.m.
whatever it
Right.
is that's cutting into your creative hours.
Yeah.
Maybe you need to stop. Need to pause. You can't delegate that.
Yeah.
Ooh, I know one. We got 8 seconds left. Talking on the phone about things that don't move the needle on my business goal or my personal goal.
Mm.
Let's cut all them conversations out.
Now that's a good one. That's a good one. All right.
Everybody
So
done?
yeah. Y'all should be done. And once again, if you got time later outside of here to do it. But I want y'all to really understand and see that this is powerful clarity, right? You have what you're going to focus on and then what you're going to delegate or pause so it doesn't distract you from the things that you're focusing on, right? And once again, everything that we're doing this to build out your CEO plan on a page. So, this is going to go into your section 3 of your CEO plan on the page, right? It's section 3, right, Sean?
Section 3, you are
Right,
correct.
right. So
Right?
this is
So far they should have already filled in their day one, their 90-day outcome statement that fits here now, not too long to fit in the
Mhm.
on the form. Their impact statement, their start and end time, their goal, right? They were trying to do that 15,000 a month. It's going to automatically calculate that. For 90 days. They should have been able to also write in what I'm building, who it's for, and how I'll measure it. Today we're at number 3, and there's this really cool tool to help you, figure out your numbers, right? So if I put in $2,000, my numbers change because my goal and my monthly target is already set. I have to think through my offer. You know, the offer was, if the offer was too low, I just keep putting my ideal pricing in. It was $500. I need 30 clients in a 90-day, 10 clients a month. No, I can't do that. Let me bring it up to at least 1,500. Okay, I can serve 3 clients a month, right? So you have this. But also what Ron just helped you walk through is what I'll focus on and what I'll delegate. You able to type in those 3 things that you're going to focus on, and those 3 things or 3 to 6 things that you're going to pause or delegate. You're going to put those right there in the spreadsheet. And again, all of this is rolling up and culminating into your CEO plan on the page. I'm going to bring it down just a bit so you can see what will happen once it's all said and done. It's going to look like this. It's going to look pretty good, all right? You're going to be able to get, let me bring it up for you. You're going to have the section 1 is done. So far, your section 2 is done. You just actually finished your strategic clarity blocks.
Facts.
Right? You just finished that today. So that's something to celebrate. And then we're going to be moving on into your projects and your campaigns that you're going to focus on, right? So just want you to start putting everything in there. It's getting somewhere.
And let me reiterate, because I know the way some of y'all looking is that y'all like, what is that? We've delivered that tool to you already in the community. You all received that on day 1, shortly before our session ended. So you have that document where you have the sections and it's broken off into days. So you should be inputting the homework that you're doing after we've helped you work through it, because you posted in the community, and if we're giving feedback, y'all adjusting it, y'all tweaking it, and then the refine, y'all putting in this document, because this is, yes, culminating so that it can be integrated into your CEO plan on the page. I just wanted to let y'all know that y'all have it, because I saw some of the faces like, what is that?
And some of you guys, you only have up through day 4. Now, you don't know how to fill this day 4 out yet, right? We're going to be working on this tomorrow, which is, now that we have an offer and a price and all of that, we're going to work on your magnetic messaging and all those things. We're going to talk about it. What you don't have is the final CEO plan on the page, because ultimately we want to make sure you have everything else that you need first, right? Before you get this. And everything is going to be nice and clean. You can print it. It'll be just something just like this. You can put it on your desk. You can hand it to teammates. You can have it for yourself. Or you can just keep it as a document that you work with, but you need to do those other pages. That's why we're telling you, once y'all do the homework, you're building up your CEO plan on the page. We thought this thing through now.
Exactly. So listen, we winding down, but we have a few minutes left. So I want to now open up the floor for questions. But before we do questions, I want somebody that has a takeaway, that has an aha, right? Aha moment, that where the light bulb just went off today, right? Is there somebody that has an aha moment that they want to share? If so, raise your hand.
I saw Shaq saying a couple of things, and
Okay.
he's on video, which will be great because we
Perfect.
want to be able to capture your audio. Go
That's
ahead.
okay.
Go ahead, Shaq.
I think just like breaking down like the views to the leads to the convos to the sales. I mean, I feel like we kind of understand that, but it's just nice to have it all laid out and to have the percentages and to have even like the tool is fire. And like when you said plan on a page, I didn't know you actually meant on a page. Like that's like it's all laid out for you. So that's actually really fire. And then also, I don't know if, well, I'm sure some of you know, but like I have ADHD, and it's not really an excuse, but sometimes it is harder for me to stay like locked in and focused. So I think like the things that I'll focus on and that I won't focus on, or that I'll stop or pause or delegate, that's really nice to just have out and just be like, I'm not worried about anything else. I'm just gonna stick to this one thing for this specific amount of time. So I think that's fire.
Dope.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I think we might got time for one more. Does one more person have a highlighter, aha moment from today, or from the week period?
And thank you so much to Shaq for sharing as well.
Yes.
We really appreciate that. That was really good. He probably said what everybody else want to say. Anybody else
Right.
has a takeaway or insight that they gained
That
day one
they're
that
willing
you,
to cut their camera on. We want you to cut your camera on. Okay, nobody, and that's fine. No pressure. But listen. We want you to get used to talking and sharing, right? That's why some of the homework is do a video. You know what I'm saying? Like we want y'all got to get in the habit. Y'all got to break these habits of not sharing and not showing up and all that type stuff. CEOs, they share. Like I said, listen, me and Shy are both here. If I told y'all what was going on in my life, in my world right now, you know what I'm saying? But I'm here. I'm sharing. So I need for y'all to kind of break free of that. But enough of that. Let's keep it moving then, since nobody has anything to share. So yeah, so listen, it's the end of the day. So you guys should have your full strategic clarity block completed, right? We went through your revenue map, so you should understand that better, right? You have your 90-day priorities locked in, what you're gonna be focusing on for the next 90 days, your 3 things you're focusing on, right? We identified your distractions. Okay, this is what I'm gonna delegate or pause, right? So I'm hoping that this is building the confidence that you need, right? Because this is a system, right? Confidence is that is the success. It's a system for you. So we're hoping that you're building this, and that because this is all setting you up for day 4, right? This is all setting you up for tomorrow. Okay, so I'm hoping that y'all are catching it. So consistency isn't about motivation, it's about systems, right? The systems that we're building can help you be consistent. And inside of our creative CEO cohort, we turn this 90-day plan into an automated revenue system, so you're not guessing what to do each week. Okay? So me and Shy have been talking all day. We've had Ron Lee Sr. come on and talk. We had Shaquille talk, but now we want the group to talk. So I need for y'all to take yourselves off mute, right? And I need for you to repeat after me, because we want you to affirm yourself, okay?
Yeah,
We want you
everybody
to
off of mute.
everybody off
Mute
mute.
unless your background is like
Yeah,
crazy loud or
unless your
something.
background is crazy loud. But I want y'all to say this. I run my business
I
I run
run
my
my
business
Run
business
my business
with clarity,
with
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 clarity
clarity,
clarity,
numbers,
and
numbers,
numbers,
and intention.
and
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 intention.
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 Like that's what CEOs do. So let's get it.
Yeah, I love it. We numbers, clarity, intention, and the reason why we lean in so heavy on the numbers is because we're trying to get you up to 10K. Right? You can't get. You got to first come to the reality of where you are with your current numbers. Right? Man, I'm only at 5K. But with that mathematical tool that we're giving you, you'll know exactly how to get to 10K. How many clients it'll need, how many leads you'll need, how many views you'll need, and with you working through your pricing this way and making sure your offer is solid. When Ron talks about us sharing and speaking, the truth of the matter is a lot of times the reason why we can't speak comfortably to our price is because we're not confident in it. But when you confident, you work in a workshop, in a challenge, and this is the right price, this is the right offer, I can say it with confidence. Nothing to be worried about. That is half the battle. People are trying to hear up and jump. I'm just trying to get started. And you're talking to people and you're stumbling and fumbling all over the place, and you're wondering not why you're not making sales. It's because you're not even clear. You ask somebody to make a website for you, but you don't even have the language together. Speaking of language, I want to celebrate you, but I'm excited about tomorrow, because tomorrow we're going to be we're going to celebrate you. But tomorrow we're going to be working on your language. We're going to be working on your messaging, right? We got your offer, but we're going to be working on your messaging tomorrow and your messaging rhythm, right? So that we can work on your audience growth. That's the main thing. How are we consistently attracting people to the offer? Now, I had to make sure I show y'all this because I always want you to see it, right? I always want you to see the homework, okay? Because so far, the homework has not been able to be posted. And these are simple sentences, right? You're just going to go into the community and post a sentence. What's your signature offer? Today's homework, complete, just complete what I'll focus on if you didn't have it. I saw a lot of you did. And complete what I'll pause or delegate. And if you already did that, then you're perfectly primed for number 3, which is to post in the group telling one thing that you're focusing on and one thing you're delegating. Hey, I'm such and such. My creative endeavor, my creative industry is this, and I am focusing on this, and I'm going to pause this. If you want to be extra credit with it, you want to let them know how you've enjoyed the challenge in your overall experience and what you recommended to other people, all in one video. That could be done in a 20-second video, 30-second video. So I said I was going to do it. I want to actually clap it up for y'all. Watch this. Clapping it up for you guys. I want to celebrate you all because today you turn your clarity into alignment. Your offer, your pricing, and your capacity are all now in cahoots and conversation with each other. This is how creative CEOs build predictable income with predictable action without burning out. Without further ado, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And we will see you tomorrow inside of day 4.
All
Peace.
right.